Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the whole of the University of New South Wales community to address you during the special Australia Ensemble performance. I'd firstly like to acknowledge the Bendigo people who are the traditional custodians of this land on which the university stands, and we pay our respects to the elders both past and present. Established in 1980, the Australia Ensemble UNSW is widely regarded as this country's finest chamber music ensemble. Today they're honouring and celebrating one of their first subscribers, Mrs. Norma Hawkins, as she receives a UNSW Honorary Fellowship. COVID-19 pandemic restrictions prevent us from gathering together to celebrate this wonderful milestone. This is in no way diminishing the occasion, and I'm thrilled that we're able to honour Norma in this special way. In accordance with the resolution of the University Council, we seek to honour Mrs. Norma Hawkins by awarding her an honorary fellowship of the university. I will now read, if I may, the citation. Norma Hawkins was born in 1922 in the small rural town of Bega on the far south coast of New South Wales. She was the eldest child of Melbourne Joseph Disher, who was a skilled coach builder, wheelwright and carpenter. Her mother, Euphemia Dush, worked in a drapery shop in the town. She was a very fine seamstress. She made clothes for Norma and her two brothers, and she taught her daughter to sew. Norma's memories include, from her early childhood, visits to listen to music at her grandmother's house, opposite where her uncle Bob, who was also her godfather, had a gramophone and a collection of recordings of classical music. Norma's favourite was Bizet's Carmen. Her favourite subject at St. Patrick's Primary School were history and English, where at the age of 13 she discovered Joseph Conrad and Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. At 14, following the death of her mother, Norma moved to Sydney. She completed her schooling aged 15 with the intermediate certificate at St. Mary Magdalene High School in Rose Bay, where Twelfth Night had made a lasting impression. After completing 2 short tech courses in dressmaking and millinery, Norma decided she wanted to work where there was music. She obtained a position in the music library at radio station 2SM, where she remained for 7 years as the librarian. During this time, she discovered the City Municipal Library at the QVB. She queued for organ gallery seats to Sydney concerts and recitals at the Sydney Town Hall, and she attended plays at the New Theatre in Castlereagh Street. When she saw there, for the first time, the plays of Bernard Shaw, Sean O'Casey, Molière, and contemporary playwrights from America and England, she discovered the connection between art and politics. She also discovered that here was a place for her to be actively involved. In 1949, she joined New Theatre, and for the next 28 years, she interpreted and made costumes designed by artists Cedric Flower, Les Tanner, Rod Shaw, David Millis, and Yvonne Francart. In the absence of a designer, she herself would do the necessary research and creation. It was in the 60s that she attended most of the productions at the Old Tote Theatre here at the University of New South Wales campus, and at the time the New Theatre was welcoming graduates of the National Institute of Dramatic Art, NIDA. As well as being a member of New Theatre Production Committee and a play reader, Norma was involved in 4 plays, 2 as Associate Director and 2 as Director. It was in 1977 she costumed Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor and The Captain of Kopernik. It was also at the New Theatre that Norma met Bruce Hawkins, a lecturer in the Faculty of Engineering at UNSW, and they later married. Norma's work at New Theatre with Jock Levy and Keith Gow, both theatre directors as well as members of the Waterside Workers' Federation, led her to become the 3rd member of the production team of the newly formed WWF film unit. During the next 5 years, 13 films were produced, focused principally on union history and, importantly, on safety measures for union members. The films are esteemed by contemporary filmmakers and are held by the National Film and Sound Archive. Norma met Margaret Barr in 1953. She was to become the first movement director at NIDA and had established a dance drama group which included productions inspired by Australian themes, for example, Snowy, Colonial Portraits, and Judith Wright. Norma was immediately responsive to Margaret's work, and they formed a close friendship. In 1987, Margaret chose as her major work for that year People of the Maze, based on the book An Indian Woman in Guatemala, by Nobel Prize-winning writer Roberto Mucho. Norma found the existing Sydney Committee for Human Rights in Guatemala and was able to get their interest and support for this production. After a successful season of the work, Norma and her husband Bruce became active members of the committee. Their house in Glebe became a place for regular meetings, and enduring friendships were formed with an inspiring Guatemalan family and other committee members. Bruce Hawkins died in 1998. The Bruce Hawkins Memorial Prize was based on the UNSW Alumni Awards, which he so admired. The prize was initiated by Emeritus Professor Gavin Kitching and financially supported by friends and by Norma. It was presented annually from 2001 to 2012 with the aim of acknowledging the contribution of a graduate to the quality of community life, particularly in fostering cross-cultural links and services within and without the university. Norma and Bruce were founding members of the Australia Ensemble, resident here at UNSW, and regularly attended their evening and lunch hour concerts and performances by the Collegium Musicum Choir. When the need came to repurpose the prize, Norma chose the ensemble. She commissioned a work to the memory of her husband by its pianist and composer Ian Munro. She has many cherished memories of recitals by the ensemble, but the night of the premiere performance of Munro's Three Birds has a special place in those memories. Now aged 98, Norma looks forward with optimism and eagerness to the future of the Australia Ensemble and to resuming her seat in the Clancy. When she opens her back gate in Glebe, she walks into the John Street Reserve, now a habitat to encourage the return of blue wrens and other small birds, the result of the activities of the local Glebe community in which she's played such an active part. The University Council, noting her eminent service to the arts, to social justice, and to UNSW, resolved that it would be fitting if an honorary fellowship were to be conferred on Mrs. Norma Disher Hawkins. In the name of the Council, and by my authority as Chancellor of the University of New South Wales, it is an enormous honour to hereby award in absentia to Mrs. Norma Disher Hawkins an honorary fellowship of the University. I hope that she enjoys this honour. She certainly deserves it, and may she absolutely enjoy many, many years of active service in line with all the service she's provided so far. Congratulations, Norma.
Hello, Norma. From windy lockdown Melbourne. I can tell you that I'm at my computer watching through the Tyrolean curtains as rainbow lorikeets and noisy miners raid the Cotoneaster outside. It's enormously frustrating not to be able to be with you in person for this celebration of your life, such a vivid and interesting life, and for the conferral of your much-deserved honorary fellowship. I see from your amazing biography that I knew less than half of all the things you've done, but I do know that your support for the ensemble over the 40 years of its existence has been appreciated almost more than words can say. Anyway, I am grateful to be with you in spirit and to send love, congratulations, and a little bit of music. It would have been especially meaningful to be able to perform again the piece that you commissioned from me 4 years ago, a song cycle all about birds, reflecting your abiding passion for them. Alas, COVID, etc., etc. So instead, I will play two other charming little pieces about birds. I warn you, though, I'm restricted to my untuned upright piano here at home, and I hope that you and the composers will forgive the unavoidable hint of honky-tonk. First, there is the Song of the Lark from the Seasons by Tchaikovsky. This is a sad lark singing above Russian fields in March of 1876. I think Tchaikovsky must have had a love of birds. There is another lark by him, the one from the children's pieces, and he's a cheerful, chatty sort of fellow. Tchaikovsky also wrote about nightingales, swallows, cuckoos, and, of course, a certain swan. Next is one of Edvard Grieg's lyric pieces, and he calls it Little Bird, from 1886, 10 years earlier than the Tchaikovsky. Grieg was a real nature composer and wrote at least 4 songs about unspecified little birds. Perhaps he really didn't know the names of them. This one is both chirpy and plaintive, with a sense of longing seldom absent from any of Grieg's music. I like to imagine that it was one he might have heard from his composing hut at Troldhagen on the shores of Lake Nordas, that is, before they put the motorway through, only 120 metres away, something I'm quite glad he didn't live to see. Again, dear Norma, many congratulations, thank yous, and may you enjoy the music and keep enjoying it.